Right, so I've blagged my way onto the slope, that all went fine. As you can see, I am literally the only person on the ski slope, which I think probably is going to be a good thing, because it's been about 3 years since I last went on a snowboard, and I had like a week on it and didn't really do all that great in that week. So I'm just gonna bomb around here for about an hour and a half and see what I can do. Right, so I had quite an entertaining 5 minutes trying to work out how to do the buckles up. Very helpfully, they kind of folded them like in completely the wrong manner, so I was staring at it thinking, I'm sure that's not how you put your feet in. But that was the first challenge. I worked out how to put my feet in the snowboard, which is quite good. And I've just done sort of 2 goes down that little slope there. Just on my back edge of my snowboard. So I'm going to try a couple more times on the front edge now, so facing into the slope, and I'm sort of gradually turning the board around. I haven't really worked out whether I'm regular or goofy, and at the moment I've got a board that's set to goofy, and it's going alright, but I mean I haven't really had the board in a straight line with the slope yet. I'm just kind of sort of at 90-degree angle to the slope, so I figure that's the best way to start off, is just kind of getting my balance on the board, getting used to having 2 feet that are anchored to the same thing. I've done a lot of skiing in the past, and obviously you have 2 separate legs when you ski, whereas here you kind of have like a mono leg. Very gracefully put. I just did one go down with my front edge, I guess. Is that my front edge? I'm such a skier. My front edge in towards the hill, so I was facing into the hill and then kind of like going diagonally down, just trying to get a bit of pace up. I actually found that a bit more fun than going on my back edge. Like just sitting back on the slope is like almost like having the brakes on, I guess. I figure I might take the camera down with me this time. I'm just going to do the same thing again, but just show you what I've been up to. I'll tell you what, the one thing I do really actually quite enjoy about snowboarding now, I realise I'm not actually on snow, I am on an artificial slope, very comfortable plastic. But one of the things I really do quite like about snowboarding is the contact you have with the snow. I mean, obviously it must be different when you're on real snow and it's cold and wet. Maybe I'm being a bit romantic about this, but I do quite like having the kind of, you know, like sitting on the snow. Like for me to now get from the way I'm sitting onto my front edge, I need to swing round, and then I'm going to need to like flip over, so literally kind of roll on the slope, and I quite like that kind of rolling around and, you know, just resting on your ass on the snow. As a skier, you spend absolutely no time in contact with the snow apart from your skis. You know, when you do actually touch the snow, then you know that there's a problem because you've probably fallen over. So it's quite cool doing it this way, I guess. Anyway, I shall see if I can get some footage of me coming down. Snowboarding-ish, maybe. I don't know whether this counts yet. Right, so I've had about 40 minutes trying out Goofy. I tried to do some turns. I'd said I hadn't fallen over. I hadn't fallen over up until I tried turns. I think I've managed 1 successful turn so far. So I'm going to try regular, so that's with my right leg at the back, hopefully controlling things. Not really sure whether I'm right-footed or left-footed, so I guess I'm just going to have to sort of see. I guess it's a bit of trial and error. But I'm going to have another sort of 30 to 40 minutes on the slope, see what I can do, and then I'm going to come back next week. This challenge is going to take place, I think, over a couple of weeks. I've got 8 weeks till I go to Australia, where unfortunately it will be this summer, so I won't be able to do any sort of snowboarding challenges in the snow until the end of next year when I go and do my ski season. But at least I can do something over here, and maybe we can try out some challenges in one of the indoor snowdomes. There are quite a few around the country. I'm thinking maybe going up to Manchester in a couple of weeks' time, so ideally by the time I get there I should be able to turn. So that is my mission, I think, for the next few weeks on the dry slope. I think that it's actually easier for me regular than it is goofy. I'm sort of half there on the turns. Like, I get to the point where the board's going straight down the hill and I think I just move my back leg too quickly or something. Though, I mean, it was quite a few years ago that I was doing this on snow, But I seem to remember when you do it on snow that the snow kind of packs onto your board, whereas obviously this is like a plastic surface and it's not really doing that. So I don't know whether it's actually harder to turn on this than it might be on the snow. I'm not obviously going to find that out unless I go to one of the snow domes. I'm blatantly going to fall over on this run. It's a shame that there's no one actually on the ski slope, otherwise I can get someone to hold the camera and show you just how comically I'm doing. But my camera's quite resilient. Those of you that have watched my other videos will know that someone tripped me up during the marathon and actually fell on the camera and it's still working. So I don't know whether to just try it. Maybe I'll just take the camera with me and try not to fall on it. We'll see, okay. And I'm down. Okay, back up. Back down again. Well, I'm not falling on the camera, just on my bum. I just went down the slope and didn't fall over and turned. I think I've worked out. So I'm a bit puffed because I'm still walking up and down the hill. I haven't got onto the button lift just yet. Basically, I've worked out, I think, the way to start turning. I think I've probably been trying to take my turns a little bit too sharply. I suppose one of the things for having skied since I was about 7 is I'm not very good at starting things from scratch. I remember when I actually did like a week of snowboarding, it was so frustrating, like looking at black runs and being sat on a nursery slope and not being able to go up onto them. I think that's why I kind of gave up and just went onto my skis. So I'm not the world's best person at starting from scratch, but I think I'm gradually learning what to do. I don't know if it's just because I'm on plastic and obviously there's no snow to pack down, but or maybe it's just the way to start turning. But instead of carving the back of the board, which I think is what I was trying to do, I've kind of been doing a bit of a jump, so like 3 little jumps to turn myself around. I've been taking the turns a lot wider, so I actually managed to go down that slope in pretty much 3 turns, but stayed up and even managed to sort of finish up, you know, going straight down the hill, which I suppose the speed does get a bit scary when you don't feel like you're in control of the board. Even though, you know, I used to ski race at quite high speeds, and now I'm a bit like, you know, I'm a bit scared on like a nursery slope. But I suppose it is just a question of getting used to it. I feel like I've picked up quite a lot just in like an hour and a half that I've been here. It's cost me something like £20, and that included board hire and actually included a pair of gloves, which I don't know if you can see, these are brand new gloves. This is how painful this plastic surface is. Look at my gloves, they're like really fluffy, and that's just where the plastic's pulled them apart. I forgot to put my gloves on. I went for a drink, forgot to put my gloves back on, and did one run where I fell over a couple of times with the palms of my hands straight onto this plastic, and you can see why they tell you to wear gloves, because it really hurts. But yeah, I've made quite a lot of progress today. I'm going to have a couple more runs, and then I shall come back next week, possibly with someone to come and do some filming so you can actually see my progress properly and not have to just listen to me telling you about it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this challenge, and I think snowboarding is going to be something I really enjoy, so it'd be great to actually get to a standard where I can do some really cool challenges like jumps and tricks and stuff. So so watch this space and just see how my snowboarding comes on.